Good afternoon. Thank everybody for this wonderful weather, and welcome to our 8th annual Celebrate the Lake Festival. My name is Steve Remius. For some that I haven't met, I'm president here at MacRay, also president of Lake St Clair Tourism Initiative. So the lake is a special, has a very special place in my heart. I just wanted to go through a few things here. Again, this is the press event that we always kick off the festival with. The festival will conclude on Saturday with many events. For those of you in the press, there are press kits available. We have them. If you haven't gotten them, in the press kit there's a detailed listing of the events. I certainly here want to thank all the sponsors who have donated time and resources and to the event. Those sponsors are Colony Marine and Clinton River Watershed Council, which is celebrating their River Day on Saturday as well. Lake St. Clair Tourism Initiative, Sterling Heights Regional Chamber of Commerce, the Michigan Boating Industries Association, the Anchor Bay Yachting Association, as well as Skipper Buds. Thank you for all of those. Also, a special thanks to Captain Luke Clyburn and his Noble Odyssey Foundation, as well as these wonderful young men and women who are entering in a cadet program. They're going to be with us all week this week doing special training. They were already in the pool last night, and they're going to be in again tonight with their diving training. They're going to conclude later in the week, Luke, with an actual venture out into this wonderful lake for their final dives. So again, Luke, thank you for bringing your ship and bringing all these wonderful cadets, and let's have a great week. Saturday's events, again, they're highlighted for you, but they include kids' activities, educational displays, a nautical yard sale, and one of the things that we're really proud of is we are partner with the Welcome to the Water campaign, which is a national campaign to get people who maybe normally aren't exposed to the water, to give them an opportunity to get on the water. And again, special thanks to Pete Beauregard and Colony, who will be donating boats, and we're welcoming anybody on Saturday to come out, especially those that haven't had a chance to get out on the lake, to get a small 20, 30-minute boat demonstration. So again, thank you. There's 120 marinas nationally in participating. There's 5 in Michigan that are participating in the marina program, and we're 2. There's a marina in St. Joe's and us that are actually having this Welcome to the Water program. All right, moving on. One of the things that we want to do today is to provide an annual update and information as far as what's going on in, out, and about and around the lake. And for the most part, it's great news. As you know, water levels are up and fuel prices have stabilized. Last week I was saying it declined. Now I can say it stabilized. Hopefully we'll see better ones even later in the year. Our occupancy, from talking to from here at MacRay as well as surrounding marinas, occupancy is at a 10-year high. Transient boating is also at a 10-year high. We're seeing a lot of boaters coming in from Ohio and Canada, which is a good thing for Macomb County and the regional economy. As far as nationally goes, the sales as far as new boats and trailers and engines, totally in the state, and this was given to me by our friends at Michigan Boating Industry, was $762 million in sales in 2014. What's remarkable about that, in addition to the big number, is the fact that it's 13% higher than it was last year. And just to kind of give you a feel for that, nationally, that number was a 3% decline between 14 and 13. So this truly is the Great Lakes. This is the heart of the Great Lakes. And we certainly, as you know, all our residents around here certainly like to enjoy their boats and enjoy in, out, and around the water. So again, I appreciate everybody coming. There's certainly at the conclusion of our little update here, you're more than welcome to get tours of the boat. You're also welcome back into MacRay for some desserts and the like. So with that being said, I would like to introduce Executive Mark Hackle, who will be focused in here on all the wonderful things that are going on in the county as far as the blue economy and encouraging this tremendous economic asset that we have here. So Mark.
Thanks, Steve. I tell you, talk about appropriate. My former life in law enforcement, having people in uniform and having a backdrop such as this really kind of brings back some memories. You can't find or stage a better press conference than what we see behind myself right now with these young men entering into this program here at the Sea Cadets and on a ship that many of us know and have seen many a times in the Clinton River as well as Lake St. Clair, the Pride of Michigan. But I can't help but look at this, this impressive vessel that's sitting behind me and think about it when they talk about the Pride of Michigan, and yet knowing that we're out here on Lake St. Clair and we talk about Michigan and the opportunities that we have when we get out there and talk about pure Michigan with our branding strategy, and yet what many of us know about Lake St. Clair, and Lake St. Clair, in my opinion, is the pride of Michigan when we talk about waterways. It is without question the busiest freshwater lake during the summer months than anywhere in the state of Michigan, and for that matter, anywhere in the country. So it gives me great pride to talk about some of the initiatives and the things that we have going on here in Macomb County, and to introduce to you someone that really has been our strategic planner, if you will, to be the driving force to make sure people understand the value that it provides to people that live here in Macomb County, but also to the region, and as well as the state of Michigan. And I say that for this reason. When I first started this venture as county executive, I went to our planning department to get a better understanding of what it is that we have as far as our assets and the resources internally to try to, I guess, engage and to make things happen. And one of those first people I went to was Jerry Santora, who worked in our planning department, who had a tremendous passion for our land and water resources. And one of the first things we did was put together a group or an organization called the Water Resource Advisory Council. And the partnerships that we created from federal, state, local, even within the municipalities within Macomb County to try to create better opportunities for people to understand the better access and the attractions that we have, and make sure that people understood about water quality and the importance of that, from the simplest features to some of the more extravagant opportunities that we're trying to create here. And Jerry's going to be a little bit more specific or kind of talk a little bit more about some of these projects that are happening. But I just want to make sure people understand from my perspective, as we look at these developments, you can't help but think, wow, each and every one of these do add value. From what's happening out in New Baltimore that we were just talking about today inside of MacRay with an exciting river, or I should say lakefront development, even Harrison Township with what they're trying to do and what I would consider to call Pure Place. And yet, even a small little town like Utica with a ballpark that many people are focused on, with the reality that this ballpark is also going to help deal with some problems that we had with a landfill that leached into the Clinton River that had an impact throughout the entire county out into Lake St. Clair. So there are so many projects that we're working on with that focus of how do we make sure that people realize here in Macomb County, this value we have with 41 miles of a river running through it, as well as the 31 miles of coastline we have out here on Lake St. Clair, is a tremendous advantage to us, not just for economic development, but also as quality of life. There are so many exciting things happening, and I want to make sure that people recognize it's because of those partnerships that we've been able to create. And with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to Jerry Santora to talk more specifically about some of those exciting things that are going to be happening here, or have been happening here in Macomb County. Thank you very much. Jerry?
What a glorious day. Couldn't ask for a nicer day. And I don't even mind the breeze because it's so warm. It actually feels good. So Mark was sort of hitting me with the elbow before I started here, and he says, I know you have a passion for the lake and you like to talk a lot about the lake, but I promise I am just going to highlight what I think is significant at this point. But I do want to say that everything is really highly dependent on the three different pillars of the Blue Economy Initiative, that being economic development, environmental stewardship, and then quality of life. All three of those working together really creates a sense of place that people want to invest in, want to live in, and want to be a part of. And that's exactly what we're seeing here in Macomb County. Some of the progress is exceptional of what is going on in the county with our blue water assets, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about that. Our ability to recreate on these waterways and to make them a part of our lives is actually how we keep people here, how we are going to continue to grow, and how we're going to be sustainable for long term. I want to sort of highlight just a little bit about what we've done with the environment, where we were, where we're at now, and where we're going. And I will do the same with the economic development and the quality of life issues. The Clinton River Watershed Council, where is Ann Vara? Ann. She is the president of the Clinton River Watershed Council, or executive director, I'm sorry, and she would be here to answer any questions about that. But it has been listed as an area concern for 28 years. There's 11 beneficial use impairments on the river, and we're working very diligently to remove those beneficial use impairments through some of the work with the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative. It was once classified as the most polluted river in the state of Michigan, and it is no longer, but we are making much progress, but there's much progress that still needs to happen. That wasn't always the case. The Clinton River brought in the early fur traders. The mill towns like Utica and Mount Clemens were formed on the river. The luxury steamships, came into harbor here. And Mount Clemens was famous for its mineral bass, of course. Our region helped create the middle class in the industrial age. And what we did with that, we put the world on wheels. We created the middle class, and we also put boats with motors on them on lakes. And I think that's one of the great claims for Lake St. Clair at this point, is we had a major contribution in those areas. How do we reinvent ourselves in this post-industrial era? That's really the question about the blue economy. Really what we want to do is we want to improve our water quality and continue to do that. If we stay on the course, the EPA has sort of scheduled us for delisting in 2018. It's quite ambitious, but they are also allocating $20 million towards 11 projects that are going to be looked at up and around the watershed as well as our coastal areas to help remove those beneficial use impairments or those areas that are actually of concern. And that includes basin expansion, sewer separations, green infrastructure development, stormwater cleaning, monitoring, rapid sampling, and also with all of this going on in the interim, the county and several other partners, including Wayne State University, Huron-Clinton Metro Parks Authority, and Macomb Community College have developed the Heart Fresh Water Center to put some research actually on our lake for the area for the St. Clair River, Lake St. Clair, and the Detroit River. These 9 projects will include a Partridge Creek habitat restoration, Clinton River corridor restoration through Utica and Sterling Heights, the Walcott Mill Metro Park restoration for nearby wetlands, Shelby Township stream bank restoration. There's an ambitious project with the Red Run Habitat Enhancement Plan and the Harley Ensign Coastal Wetland Restoration. The expected outcomes of all of this money being invested is that 235 acres will be restored, 92,000 feet of coastline or riverbank will be restored, 130 acres of floodplain restored, and 365 tons of sediment loading reduction. That's very ambitious, and but we are on par to do that. Let's talk about the quality of life. The access and view sheds are a historic challenge for Macomb County as development happened over the last several decades. And places for people to feel and touch our waters are far too few, and we know that. However, we do have 10,000 boat slips, 53,000 registered boats, and more than 1 million launches into Lake St. Clair just from Macomb County in 2013. More than half of our launches were from public ramps, and 44 commercial and municipal marinas are in Macomb County, with 20 more with homeowner associations. And Lake St. Clair was designated as the world's best bass fishing lake in 2013 by the world's most prized angler, Kevin Van Dam. And we believe that is still true because the Bass Elite is coming back August 27th through 30th this year, and we'll be hosting it at Lake St. Clair Metro Park. We now also have, in addition to the bass fishing tournaments and many more, the Sprint and Splash event and Aquapalooza is a national recognized Sea Ray boat where we'll have 2 ramps or floating docks out in front in Poor Man's Beach here, and some bands playing both on Saturday and Sunday of the last weekend in July. And you can see Eric Foster. Eric, please raise your hand. Thank you. We have 3 new canoe and kayak liveries in a transient marina district. I do want to highlight that all the boaters in this community here have an awesome opportunity, and I'm going to put out the welcome mat for the city of New Baltimore because they put a transient marina in right at the foot of their downtown next to their beach. boaters from all over can now take their boats up there for the day, dock them for free, walk into their downtown, use their restaurants. By the way, they have several new restaurants there, as well as a lot of interesting shops, and I think you would really enjoy your time going there. It's one more destination on Lake St. Clair that is opened up. In the future, we continue to secure more entertainment opportunities. We're looking to purchase the Schmid Marina in New Baltimore as part of an ambitious effort on their part. And in Harrison Township, we're working with the state DNR agency to look at expanding the local water access there and to make one contiguous park along Lake St. Clair and up the spillway all the way to downtown Mount Clemens. Chesterfield Township, they also have a defunct marina that was purchased through a philanthropic donation this last year, and we hope to develop that as a paddle park as an intercoastal waterway. And also, the marketing efforts for Lake St. Clair. People are fairly familiar with the Circle Lake St. Clair tour, but just last year, the Grosse Pointe communities also erected those signs, and we're also talking with the St. Clair communities regarding additional signs going up around Anchor Bay, and then we're also talking with the Canadian counterparts. Brad Simmons, if you can raise your hand, he's with the Lake St. Clair Tourism Initiative, and he's the executive director there. So economic development. We've always had a strong recreational boating and fishing industry that has existed on the lake, but the lake and the river can be available for more people to use and experience. Lake St. Clair sustains 5,700 blue economy jobs and more than 200 businesses sell or service boats. Created in the Blue Economy Strategic Plan, we looked at 50 programs and projects that are now underway and being implemented. 2 of them were highlighted today with the partners meeting for the countywide planning and economic development meeting, and very exciting to see a lot of these underway. And there's more ideas being hatched every single day. And we also work very closely with a lot of nonprofit agencies. There's over 20 different agencies in which our department works from, with the county, with nonprofits, as well as federal, state, and local level of governments to help implement a lot of these strategies. So in the future, the Macomb County Planning and Economic Development Department, working with these agencies, hopes to get more resources put towards Lake St. Clair and the Clinton River. And I also wanted to announce that today we have our targeted, our Blue Economy Indice Profile, which is now a publication through our department and the County Execs Department that we will be able to use for attracting people to Macomb County and our waterways and our abundant fresh water assets. We are truly in the heart of not just the Great Lakes, but we are truly in the heart of the world's biggest freshwater basin. And that is incredible when you think about what the opportunity that has for our future and how we are now responding to that from a community. So I want to thank those in our department, including Maria Zardis, for helping with that. That concludes what our major remarks today, but I do want to say that the opportunity for us to live and play here is getting better every single day with the commitment of literally hundreds and thousands of people in our communities around Lake St. Clair. And I think it's a very exciting time to be a part of this. It's a part of a strategy that the state is also looking at a blue economy. It is also often said that 1 in 5 jobs are related to the blue economy in Michigan. And if you look at our abundance of Great Lakes water and inland water, that has to be true. So I want to thank you all for coming out today. I do want to invite everybody back into the conference center here and the banquet center for refreshments, and please take a tour of the boat as well. Where's Captain Luke Clyburn over here? Has been wonderful to work with. We're lucky to have this research vessel in our backyard, and all these committed people that come here and actually do the research on our Great Lakes. It's a very important project. And the Noble Odyssey Foundation, which is on the sign right here, is an excellent opportunity for people to find out more about the research that goes on in the Great Lakes and through this particular program through the Pride of Michigan. Thank you very much. please come in for refreshments and enjoy your day. Thank you.